Is this thing on? Welcome. Go ahead and just get comfortable. I'm going to get ready. We're going to do some flour pounding today. I've never done this before, so this will be a first time for me. It will get loud when we start the pounding, but if I'm going to do something like that, I've never done this before, but so this will kind of be the warning. Like if you need to turn your volume down, definitely do it. So this will be fun. This will be a lot of fun. Welcome in, everyone. If you're watching this show live on Whatnot, or if you're joining in from one of the platforms that we multicast on or that I multicast on, thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy to have you here today. We're going to be doing something new to me, at least. Getting some padding ready. I do want to show you some things that I added to the shop. They are in the bin right now, but I'm going to be pounding some of these lavender flowers today. I found some of these. I don't have a flower garden of my own, but I was able to find some of these at my husband's work. So I thought that would be really cool to first of all ask to pick them and then pick some of these and just try this flower pounding out. Shout out to Lena for suggesting this. I went ahead and looked up some YouTube videos on how to do this and decided I'd give it a try with you guys today because it sounds like it's a lot of fun. So I've got 5 little flowers here. We'll see how these work. And I've got a few different things to use this with. I've got some textured paper. This is like some handmade paper, I think. And then I've got some white fabric and some canvas fabric. I'm trying to make sure that you can see me in the frame. And then I've also got it's some lighter weight but white sketch paper here. So that's what I'm going to be using today on that. One moment here. That's what I'm going to be doing for the flower pounding. And I have I've never done this before, but it was super loud. I did some test strikes on this cutting board just on the side, and so I put some bubble paper down. So if this is something you ever try, if it's hard surface to hard surface, it helps to have something. I've got extra packaging that I haven't quite used yet, so I just decided to put this underneath the board because I wanted to do that. So before we get started with that, I'm also going to think about if I want to put some saran wrap in the middle. So we'll just flow with it and see how that goes. Hey guys, welcome in. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try some flour pounding today. And I've still got some of the blueberry dyed paper in the bin. So go ahead and check that out. The blueberry dyed paper, did that a couple weeks ago. In fact, not a couple weeks ago. That was literally last week. But I did something a little new last weekend too. Because I don't know if you have stencils and you dye paper, it's kind of up the game a little. Well, I would say up the game a little bit, but actually I like the plain dyed paper. But if you're ever looking for something a little different, I used a stencil for this one, and I've got some events coming up. I have the Christmas in July coming up. I did this one. Probably won't use this for the Christmas in July, but I did a little test because I'm going to be making my own stencils. So I thought this was really cool. Can totally do a show on this. I think it'd be fun to dye some papers and use some stencils with you all. I think it would be a lot of fun. And this one, we can do a live show on that if that's something you want to try. You want to do it together. This one is when I put the stencil on and I didn't wait for it to dry before I picked it up. So we'll want to definitely wait and do that. And I think those are the only stencil ones. I was able to make some really dark. Isn't this cool? I like it too. It's really dark. I haven't been able to do just straight up black paper yet, but I think this is pretty close. This is a thin paper, and I used the foil in the baking because I was okay with it turning brown. And this is another one. I actually like this one because it's just darker, but this is another one where I had the stencil down and I picked it up before it was completely dry. But I thought that was really cool. So I've got the blueberry dyed paper in the bins. I've also added some pages of paper from a thrift store because I know several people have told me they don't have thrift stores with different kinds of. Hey, welcome, welcome. I'm putting this. This is in my bin too. I've got packs of repurposed paper from the thrift stores to share with you all. So, and this is about. I gotta make sure. I don't know if I put it in the listing, but anyway, it's about 3 ounces, and so everything. Hello, hello. Everything is buyer appreciation. Every day is buyer appreciation day. Everybody gets a little extra something with their purchases, whether it's a small scoop or a little. I've got some book pages here. I've got something super fun for the summer trains. I've got some cookbook pages and some book pages. So everybody who makes a purchase will get a little something, whether it's during the live show or not. I also added stamps to my bin because I did a huge stamp haul and I don't want to use all of them. So I'm going to be sharing that with you all today. And if you're watching on the platforms that I am streaming on and I don't answer right away, it's because I'm streaming on Whatnot. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching. I'd love to hear from you. All right, let's get started. Let's pound these little lavender flowers, shall we? I think that'd be fun. It's going to be loud, but less loud because I put some of the bubble paper under the cutting board. So which one should we try first? I was able to snag, I could add more, but the bees were really going to town on some of these. So I just picked the ones in the areas that the bees weren't all around because I don't want to take the bees flowers. I think that would be very nice to do. But I just took these. Letty, are you okay? I thought I heard a thump and I thought that was Letty. I hope she's not taking stuff off my shelf because if she gets mad, she either rage poops on the floor or she'll take something off my shelf and chew on it. But everything in the bin has not been chewed on by Letty, I promise. So let's set these ones aside. And I'm using this because I cannot find the hammer. So we're going to pound the flowers with this today. It works on my eyelets when I set the grommets, so I think it'll be fine. We're just going to wing it. We're going to wing it today. Welcome in if you're just joining us. Now, I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll use this textured paper first. I can't remember, but when I bought the book that this came from, I think he said that this was handmade paper that he imports. But we'll do that. I'm going to do this one first. I really want to do the canvas fabric and the white. We'll probably get to do all of these, so don't have to worry about it too much. Should I sandwich this in between 2 pieces? Probably. Why not? Why not? Oh, I can see why not because I can't see the flower. So maybe that won't be how we do that. But I do have the saran wrap. How's everybody doing? Are you having a good day? Hopefully you're having an awesome day. I know I've been a little tired today and I rescheduled my show I was going to do tomorrow because I'm probably going to be tired tomorrow too. And Friday I usually go, I have a show that I do on Fridays, but I'm rescheduling that one this week. All right, I think that's pretty much it. So let's do it. I kind of feel bad pounding this, but we're just going to do it. It's going to get a little loud, so if you have to turn down your volume, this is your warning. Oh, it just fell all apart. Is that supposed to happen? I wonder if I put something that's a little bit more... We have an explosion. little different. You can imagine how it smells though. It smells nice in here. Well, I did expect more purple, but it is not this flower's fault that I had different expectations. Welcome in if you're just joining us, trying a little something new today. Wow. It smells pretty good, but I expected some purple, I guess. I got some, but it's kind of yellowish orange, I think. Interesting. I wonder what would have happened if I would have. Hey, Lena. This is how it's going so far. I think if I try the fabric, I'm gonna try to sandwich it in. It smells really good. I love these little pieces. I think I'm gonna actually dry these little pieces. And I've got this little purple piece up here. Hello. Trying the flower pounding. I found some lavender at my husband's work, so I chose to ask because it's a very crowded area in the city and I didn't want anybody to get weird. I was sure he wouldn't care, but if you got a call from somebody, your wife's stealing stuff, at least he wouldn't be surprised. He'd be like, oh yeah, she's gonna pound the flower with a socket handle. So I can do something with that, but I guess for some reason I also did not expect this to come apart, but I guess I don't know a lot about flowers. But we're going to keep trying and try something a little different. And this actually inspires me to maybe dabble some watercolor because I do like the purple. So there's a couple of things I could do with this. Is kind of paint around this and turn this into a little art piece. I can also try this again and see what happens because this is on some textured paper. Interesting though, right? Is this not lavender? Did I use the wrong word? I'm not really good at flowers, so it smells like lavender, but I don't know. It's like the bunny ear flower. Like they usually look like little bunny ears, but I don't know. It smells like lavender, but I'm definitely not a plant expert. So, but whatever it is, let's take this one aside. Let's try a different one. I actually want to try, let's do paper and then I'll do fabric on top. So maybe the little, I don't know what it's called, but the little pieces of the flower maybe will contain a little differently. But let's see, because this is an experiment. And it's a spur of the moment pop-up experiment. Like nobody knew I was doing this. So I just kind of did it on a whim today. Hazy Ames. How you doing? Let's try this. Let's see what kind of explosion we get. And then, in theory, both of these will get some flower juices on it. So let's see. Okay, it's gonna get loud again. Oh, just the petals. I'll do that with the last three. I see purple coming through. Let's peek. Oh, let's get the top a little bit more. I do see more purple. That's so loud. I'm fine. I just feel bad for y'all's ears. Okay, let's see. Let's peek. I wonder how intact this will stay if I let it dry like this. I like that. Now this one. Look at that. I think that's interesting. The other one was more like a splatter. What do you guys think? I'm going to do just the petals on the last one. That was a good suggestion. I like how this one turned out. I mean, I do want to dry it like that, but I want to see underneath. So let's move it. And thank you for joining us. Those of you who are just joining us. Trying a little something new today. Let's get this all removed so we can see. When I see other people do it in tutorials, and when I saw you do this, Creative Curiosities, it looked a little bit different, but I know that all flowers are different. Every one is like a work of art. But I am not disappointed in this. It's like a little abstract piece. The little purple at the top. Now, I think I might grab, no, I'm not might, I will grab, I also have music pages in these paper packs if anybody needs paper. I'm going to try to, yeah, there we go. Another little white piece here. And unless someone comes up with a good suggestion of why this might not be a good idea, I try it anyway. I will put the purple petals here and maybe sandwich it in with this because it looks like we got colors on both sides of the other paper just fine. What do you guys think? We'll try that. The little purple parts, the little bunny ears. Am I taking off these bunny ears then? Let's try. There's a lot more where these came from too. I mean, because I wonder, boiling these down, this will probably make some pretty cool paper dye. I'm guessing. I'm guessing. All right, those little purple pieces. Any other purple leftover pieces from what I put over it? Not really. That's pretty much all used up. Okay. So there will be some peeking involved because I don't know. Let's just go ahead and take a look. All right, so we're going to start here, and I'm going to move my finger because that would not be fun. This is actually let me flip this around. I don't want to use that side. I want to use the other side. I do wonder how nice and purple a dye would be to dye papers with this. But today, let's do the pounding. Let's do this. Okay, it's going to get loud. Peeking on the placement. I think there's a couple more. pounding for now. Wow, look at that. I wish you guys could see it in person because I'm looking through the camera and it doesn't look the same. It doesn't do it justice. It really doesn't. But the paper, I can see the texture from the fabric. That adds a little something fun. This is cool. I can see how this could be really fun. So now we have 2 pieces of something. Okay, we're gonna leave that there for now. I'm gonna try not to look at that little piece that's left. But we have these little designs that came out. I like those, like the purple. I like the purple with the khaki colored fabric. I'm a big fan of like the vintage look. I personally, for my own taste, like to darken it up a whole lot because I like dark stuff. But I like this. There's a great contrast between the white and the purple. But what do you guys think? Contrast between the white and the purple. And then we've got the vintagey look from the fabric. I like this. I would definitely try it again if I gather more flowers. I would love to do that. But I don't know. Not a humongous fan of the noise. I really like the paper dyeing more. So maybe I'll go get my pans of stencils and show you guys that. But this is really cool. I like this one. I'm going to set this aside. Maybe even trim it down and use them as some little decorative pieces. Or maybe I'll put these in the scoops. And so people who get the scoops can have this as well. Because I do have some prepackaged scoops. They're actually in the bin. Little packs. I've got a few different designs and colors. So if you see those in the bin and you're interested, let me know and I can show you those. I'm going to get rid of these pieces of flour unless anybody knows something I can do with these. I really don't want to waste them. So welcome if you're just joining us. Hey, collector. Hi, Michaela. I don't know what else to do with this because this didn't really inspire a lot of dye. I didn't see a lot of purple, but from the little bunny ears I did. And I like that. So we'll go ahead and set this aside and then let's go check on the stencils that I'm doing for paper dyeing because maybe we'll just do some paper dyeing while we're here. Hey, Umberlicious. Oh, rubbing it on paper. Let's try. Why not? This is actually not bad. I don't not like this one. The first one, okay, this is what the first one. Trying something new today, Amber. I'm about to get back into paper dyeing right now because I like that more, but this was fun. And I know that when I find different flowers out there, I'm going to come back and try this. Probably share it with y'all. This is the first one. Feel like it was trying to run away. Like, she's trying to destroy us. Where are the bees? So that's my first one. Maybe I'll put it on. I'll give that to my husband, and if he doesn't put it on the fridge, I'll be like, "Aren't you gonna put my art on the fridge? I made that myself." And then there's this one, a little bit more contained. This is actually what was this? The mirror of this one? Yes, this is the mirror of this one. They're a set, handmade, one of a kind, $99 free shipping. No, I'm just kidding. Those are cool. I'm gonna keep those and do something with them. But I'm also, I don't know. This was fun. I liked it, but I don't love it as much as I love paper dyeing. Who knows? I'll be doing this again. So you guys can look at that while I go get the papers. Thank you for the follow, Gigi. I know what I have. Don't at me. This is one of a kind handmade. I will keep it forever. It doesn't take much room up. Or somebody's going to get it as a present in a little gift box. And be like, thank you for rehoming my beauty. Now I'm going to get my pan of dyed papers and show you guys. I like dyeing paper more. I would stay up all night to dye paper. But obviously, pounding flowers can't really do that all night. My poor family. And we do live in an apartment too, so anytime after 10, I wouldn't blame the neighbors for getting mad at me. I wouldn't want to hear that when I'm sleeping. If our neighbors were a-holes, I guess that would be a different story, but they're not too bad. So this was fun. This one, I mean, the paper pounding was fine. Let me move this. I'll put those on the fridge. You guys gonna be like, oh, did you make those today? Yep. One of the flowers tried to get away. So I did this with the paper dyeing. Carlos is here. Now it's party. I'm going to take a sip of my water. Anyone else trying to stay more hydrated, feel free to do the same. Okay. Followed by coffee because I love it. So, Carlos, I'm going to show you real quick before we talk about the paper dyeing. I tried the Carlos, I don't remember. We talk about literally everything else. Well, not literally, mostly everything else, but I don't know if we talked about the flower pounding, but I gave it a try. It was nice because I found some, I think it's lavender. Kelly, what is it? The purple bunny ear plant. I'll look at that later. But I thought it was lavender. Got some of those from Papa's work. And that was the last one. I think that one looks the most intentional. This is the first one where it tried to run away. That's going to be the story. This will be abstract art, and I'm going to title it something like that. Water than coffee. Yes, I know. Because I don't want to water down my coffee any more than I have to. And then this is another one. I'm going to sell this set for $99.99 and free shipping. One made, hand of a kind. I'm just kidding because I'm funny. But I actually like this. This actually reminds me of those Yip Yips on, was it the Muppets or Sesame Street? Actually, I had nightmares about those. But also, I liked them because they were different. Loved ones here. Yay. They reminded me of the Yip Yips. And I actually saw somebody that crocheted or knitted some Yip Yips, and I was super impressed because I don't like crocheting and knitting. So anybody that can make anything is like my hero. And especially because she made those so well, I was like, okay, now I don't like the Yip Yips, but I love her work. So this is a little different take on paper dyeing since the paper pounding's over with. Let's see how this one did so people dye with like the plastic doilies, right? But I mean, I guess I haven't really looked into people dyeing with stencils, but I've got all these stencils and I figure, well, why not try that? And look what happened. So paper dyeing on a whole new level with stencils. I don't quite have a favorite yet, but this is the yellow paper. And I'm thinking of letting things like soak on fabric too, because what's happening with my papers is they're sticking. So anybody that has stencils and you dye paper or would like to dye paper, you have options. But let me tell you, wait for the stencil to dry. So this is at least how I did it, not like this, but so you can, where's the skull one? I actually have some blank vinyl. I'm going to be making my own Krampus stencils for the Christmas in July event coming up. Please bookmark my future shows. So this one isn't Christmassy, so it was more of a practice because I was like, people use those plastic doilies, but is anybody, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure people do it. You know, I just haven't seen people dye with stencils. I've only heard of them doing it with like the doilies and the vinyl doilies. I tried it with the cloth doilies. That wasn't a good productive idea. But this is what I did with stencils. So I love these two. And I have the vinyl sheets. I'm going to carve out my own Krampus stencils. I might do one big one, another medium, and a couple smalls to kind of accentuate some paper so that I can offer that for sale in the bin. People can have some Krampus papers And this one turned out good too. Didn't wait it for it to dry when I took this up. But when you dye paper, this is how I do it. You dip it in whatever you're dyeing with. I use blueberry and coffee. And then you put the stencil down. And you can just put the stencil down like I did here, or you can spoon on more of whatever you're dyeing with, like here. But you want to wait for it to dry before you pull the stencil up, or it's going to look like here. At least that's what happened to me, because I did it right away and I pulled it up and I'm like, this doesn't work. I know people get it to work, but I just can't. Hey, Faye Faye. But it was, of course, user error, which is my default, because patience is not my superpower. Overthinking is one of those. So definitely if you're going to use stencils, let it dry first, or it's going to look like this. I'm excited to make my own Krampus stencils for paper. Like that's something that I want to do this next week. So I want to make some Krampus paper. It's going to be fun. I'd love to go live with y'all when I do it. But yeah, if you have stencils, you've got options. And if you have those vinyl sheets, you can make your own stencils. And also, Kelly, Faye. Okay, we're talking about creepy, right? The Witches of Whatnot. We've got our Christmas in July event coming up. And I also have next month, I've got the Waste Not Wednesday event coming up. I feel like an a-hole. I just added it today. So if you can go bookmark my future show, please do that for me. However, the Witches of Whatnot, we do things. We're going to do the Christmas in July. It's going to be creepy, not cutesy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be very inspiring. People are getting inspired just by talking about what we're thinking of creating. And yes, I'm going to make Krampus stencil and do some dyed paper, and I've got some other things. However, if for this or any other Witches of Whatnot trains, you guys, I found my oral pathology book. And some of the pictures of the teeth in there, it's like, doctor medical stuff, but it looks, it made me pause. So it looked kind of creepy. So if anybody is interested in seeing those, I can post them in my bin at some point, or like, if you want to see them, I can send you pictures, but I'm just telling you now, because I know that's probably going to like creep out a lot of people. So I don't know if I got to do a trigger warning or something, but, oh, do you really? It's an older book. Okay, if I warn everybody, I can show you some pages if you guys want to see it here. Just let me know. Because I found those along with some other pages, because I was just adding stuff to my bin. I'm like, I have the same stuff in my bin. I added a bunch of stamps. They're mostly cutesy, just heads up. I've got some repurposed paper. Oh, do I want to see? Maybe I don't look that up now because I haven't been to the dentist in a super long time. And one of my kind of phobias is like dentist stuff, because I had a really not good experience one time when I had to get some extractions done when I was like a teenager and I had braces on and stuff. So I don't know if I want to look that up right now. Maybe I should wait until after I go. And I know I'm going to be asking my doctor for some calm me down things. Oh, this is still wet. Okay, well, I can't. If I pick this up, it's not going to show. It's going to look like a puddle. So we're going to wait. Oh, I don't think I need that done. I can probably see that. I'm going to ask for some assistance with that. Okay, I'll show you guys. I'll just warn everybody before, because I don't usually show that. I don't know where I put the pages I was talking about, but yeah, I don't know where I put the specific pages I was talking about. I didn't hide them because I knew somebody's going to end up liking them. Okay, I'm going to show you. Are you guys ready? So there's some of these. This is like an older book, but I think it's cool. Like, it made me go, oh, whoa, you don't see those every day, right? And then, not that. I tore out a handful of pages that looked really, really unique. Things like that. So, definitely great for the spooky trains coming up. I got to package those up. Figure out what to do with those. because I think it was in one of your shows, Feifei, you were talking about, decorating and stuff and making creepy stuff with teeth. Hey, Bish! I loved listening to your show today, Bish, and was listening to the train. Like, that was super fun. I'm looking forward to next month. I mean, every Wednesday I can catch you. I look forward to. I didn't mean to make it sound like I'm only looking forward to the one I'm participating in. Let me be clear. So this one, these are still wet. I did these last night. I want them to dry soon. I don't like it when the water sits because that's not good. And I'm just weighing these down because they're coming up on the edges. The paper's been sticking to the pans, and yes, I do wash them regularly. Blow dryer would work. I also have a dehydrator. It needs to be thoroughly cleaned first, but I think a dehydrator would work. I was really tired one night and thinking, should I put this in the... Of course, I should not put these in the oven. This is plastic, damn it. But I think this is going to look really cool when it's done. I like this one because it looks like if I were to like paint or put ink on bubble paper and stamp it, that's what that looks like to me. So I do like that. That's really cool. I probably will use a blow dryer. I might do that tomorrow because my Friday show I'm not doing because that's one of the 2 days I'm going to be helping my daughter out being like a face model. She's in school to become an esthetician. So I volunteered to help her. That's one of them. The second one is going to be on a day where Loveland has a show or a train. Sorry. So I won't be doing that. But I won't be going live Friday either. Might go live with you guys and hang out for a little while tomorrow though. And dye some more paper and maybe do some more stencils. So, because I'm trying to decide on the Krampus stencils, like what size I'm going to do. Because I don't really know. I don't know yet. And I was going to dye some paper. I love the idea you had, Feifei, about putting the foil all over the rack, which I think will be great for the coffee dyeing and maybe even the beetroot. I actually have beetroot powder. Should we try some beetroot powder dyeing? But for the blueberry paper, I can't do that because it turns too brown too fast. We make some beetroot powder. I don't have beets. That's going to smell great when I boil those. Hey, Mikey. So here's what we can do. I'm going to make some beetroot mixture and we can dye some of that and see what happens. Would that be fun? While this stuff dries. I was going to put it out in the sun, but I discovered it's not very hot outside. Don't forget to check the bin. I've got blueberry papers. I've got thrift store multi-packs of papers if you like to create or dye with those. And every day is Customer Appreciation Day. So everyone who buys gets a little extra something. Whether it's a small scoop, some book pages, some cookbook pages, I'll hook you up. Oh no. The coffee is like a yeller when it comes to fragrances, huh? It's like coffee, and the blueberry is like whisper. That sucks. Maybe for you next time I'll just ship them separately so you can have your own fragrance, or just send you some blueberry papers. Here's your little air freshener. Have a little air freshener. All right, so my water's done boiling. I've never done the beetroot powder before, but let's try it. We're trying new things today. The flour pounding was cool. I liked it, but I think I like this better. Let's do that. I need gloves. So the last thing I need to do is be going in public with red hands. Get all kinds of questions. What did you do to get red hands? Can't say that here. Gave somebody a knuckle sandwich. Only if they really ask for it. You just don't want to go doing that willy-nilly because then nobody takes it seriously. I found my inspiration for the Krampus stencil that I'm going to be doing and was looking for some help from AI to help get the stencil sorted, but I'm going to have to do that by hand. And I zeroed in on the Krampus portrait that I was able to get just to kind of, I like a tight composition, and if I'm looking at like a, you know, a picture of like a head or a face, I like it to be really tight. And my husband looked over, he goes, that is really creepy, like really creepy. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm on the right track. I know I'm a winner when he's like, we're not going to put that in the bedroom, are we? I am using, this is beetroot powder. I'm trying to do a pink. I know I've wanted to do this for a while, but I just don't have fresh beets. And not that I think this is going to smell great, but I feel like boiled beets is going to smell terrible. We're going to do it. Just not today. Just the flour pounding was, I don't know what I was expecting, but it was like, it was okay. It was all right. I still feel bad for taking away the flour from these, but I'm sure they forgave me. There's a lot. But I just like dyeing paper, so we're going to try this. We're going to see how deep red we can get. Because I don't know. I need to make it kind of creepy though, right? Get so like some red and green papers. Not a bad idea for a Christmas theme. Yeah. And I really want to, so try a couple pages with this and just different, oh, this is like thick. Oh my goodness. We made beetroot jam. Anybody want some? I can send it to you. It'll be really fun. I got to do a baking show sometime because I love baking bread. Cookies are great, but I really love baking bread. I used to be a food blogger full time, so I would just like test recipes and all kinds of stuff. Welcome. And I wanted to bake bread just because I just wanted to make it from scratch. I wanted to know how, and it was supposed to be so easy, right? But you know how did I tell you guys this story before? I thought, well, the recipe always called for warm water. But if warm is good, hot is better. So for the longest time, I would add like really hot water to my yeast and it would kill the poor yeast. But then once I figured it out, game over. Bread everything. I was in a weekly bread, not like a train, but like a baking group where we would release recipes every week. It was a lot of fun. Did tutorials. I did live tutorials on baking bread and rolls and everything, like yeast recipes, cinnamon rolls, all the things. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to strain this because I don't want the powder on the papers. I don't mind the texture, but in all the experiments and the fun things I did with paper dyeing, like they just say, make sure you get all the moisture out. I feel like the flecks of the powder, I don't know what to do with that yet. Aw. I'll keep stirring, guys. I feel like the flour pounding was loud. It was like the opposite of calming. Maybe that's why I don't enjoy it as much. What I might do in the future is if I feel like doing that, I will, and I'll just share the results with you guys. Hey, Cindy. Welcome. We're going to dye some paper using some beetroot powder. This looks like really thick jam. We're going to do different thicknesses. It'll probably strain through cheesecloth. Let's find out. I'm all about experimenting. If you always wanted to meet somebody who's okay with messing up on camera, well, hey, my name is Dionne. Let's be friends. I feel like when I mess up on camera, I hope that it makes somebody feel better who gets super nervous and who maybe wants to do stuff like this but just hasn't yet because they think it needs to be perfect. I think some of this canvas fabric I have will work too. Oh, look, more paper to craft with. But I'm going to use up the rest of this cheesecloth. Oh, and if you're into stamps or crafting with stamps or paper, a busy Libra, an experimental Sag, Libra rising. Hey, that's who I am. But definitely check the bin. I got stamps in there that need a home. I got a ton more. This is beetroot powder, everybody. I know it looks weird. It's actually not going through the cheesecloth. Oh, yes, it is. I can hear it. It's like it's going to the bathroom. Can you hear that? Yeah, I got treasures in the bin, especially if you like paper. And I also have, well, this strains. I'm going to move it towards the back. I'm going to make some beautiful paper for us. It's going to take a minute though. I've got some pre-packed scoops. If you buy a scoop from the bin, this is what it looks like. I've got 4 pre-packed. And if you buy it during this show, I'll let you pick which one you want. I've also got, you can add eyelets or tags to your little dangle tassels. I've got those. And I also have these little notebooks. I made a notebook for myself because we got a train coming up. It's the Witches of Whatnot Christmas in July. It's going to be something different, a little darker spin, but I wanted my own notebook and I figured why go buy it when I have all this stuff to make my own and I like doing it. So I made my own little notebook and I wrote down my ideas. But anyways, I like this one. I added an eyelet and a charm to mine because I just kind of like this. But I like skulls and I don't know, it just reminded me like I like to get my nails done. So that's why I did that. I've also got a few of these in the bin. I've also got some blueberry dye prepped. So if you want a notebook, you buy a notebook and you want me to, I will dip it into the blueberry dye, get the pages all blue, but then I've got to dry it for at least 2 to 3 days. So your order will just be a minute, but I want it completely dry before shipping to you. But I've got this one. This was made out of a Dermalogica box. I've got a Triscuit box. This is an extra add-on. And then I made one out of the dryer sheets, or not dryer sheets. This is the laundry sheets unscented. So I've got 3 of those notebooks. Those are in the bin that you can adopt. Every day is customer or buyer appreciation day. So everybody who buys something gets something. You get a little present from me because I like giving presents too. And I like that you guys are here. So everybody who hangs out, whether it's for a minute, for an hour, it doesn't matter. Like, and of course you don't have to buy anything. Our friendship is not dependent on that. But if you do, every day is buyer appreciation day. I bet you, I mean, I haven't tried to reuse cheesecloth yet because it's been dyed and it's been for other projects, but this seems to hold up way better than like a tea bag filter or a coffee filter. Squeezing out all the extra liquids. It's taking its time. I'm sure we have enough to dye with, but if I put it back in there, it's just going to go right back into the residue. So let's do this. Let's get this little jar here. And then let's, I gotta balance. I'm going to put this off to the side so we can play with whatever has already strained. I think it's done straining. I'll be right back. Oh, it just needs a little help. I'll do that later. I'll do it later. All right, the oven is on. But we have these, and let's hope that the paper doesn't super stick. Should we do, I don't know how many stencils I have. Maybe we'll just do the bake off kind of paper dyeing, because we've got about this much. So it's not going to be. Welcome in. It's not going to be a lot. But we can definitely do something with that, right? Yeah, we can do some. We can do a little bit. So let me grab some papers. I'll grab some plain white ones. We can really get a sense of how red this is going to be. I didn't measure ratios. But I think that is going to be really red. We are going to use it. Let's see how it goes. I didn't plan on doing the paper dyeing. We're just kind of flowing that way. So I like doing that more than the flower stuff. And I think everybody likes seeing it more too. I usually do the paper dyeing over by the stove, but this is where we were hanging out today. I did not want to pound the flour on the stove. It's a glass stove. So, and if you didn't see the flour pounding, you missed it because we have a ton of tools. Like with my husband's job, he has like a shit ton of tools, but I couldn't find a hammer, so I just with this, and it was so loud. Excuse me. My allergies. I'm allergic to everything happening outside. I thought you said welcome to 2023, and I was like, all right, I don't get it. You're gonna have to spell that out for me. Welcome 2023. Let's add this beetroot powder. And I need more cheesecloth. We're not going to get too many dyes out of this one. I didn't want to use too much in case, I guess we knew it was going to work, but, small batch trying. You guys are seeing something for the very first time. And is it too hot still? No, it's not. Hey, Thistle. Thistle. And the paper's been sticking, so I don't know if I might be getting more silicone matte so it doesn't stick. I might also be putting scraps of fabric underneath. I wonder how many bakes they can withstand. Everything is just science. It's experiments. Eraser nut. Hello. We're dyeing paper. The flour pounding was fine, but it was loud. So now we're relaxing with some paper dyeing. I love doing this. Using beetroot powder to get a red. This looks nice. I'm going to do different shades of red, and I'm using the same white paper for each one. Yeah, that's going to be so cool. I'm excited. And I love that feedback because let me tell you. So I was trying to think up at least ideas to start with. And I was like, because I've been so excited and I still am, but I was like, wait, I feel like I'm over my head. I've never gone this like into it before. And I overthink. So I was like, I didn't want to be the only person like, Dionne, you didn't really understand the assignment. So I was like, I want to do a good job. So I was like, oh, but I have good ideas now. And y'all are so supportive. Everybody take a moment and please bookmark upcoming shows. I've got some really great ones coming up, including the tea dyeing. Ooh, look at that swirl, you guys. You guys, look at that. That would make good art just right there. Like, take a picture. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you all are here to see it. And anybody watching the replay, you get to see this pretty red. Ah! Handcrafted love. We're making some handcrafted paper. I'm adding a little bit of water with each dip. And it's not really to prolong the red because I've got more powder. But I would just want to see the deep reds and like how the colors can kind of change and like just kind of like the different reds and things like that. So, I mean, maybe it'll start getting pink at some point, which is totally fine. This is just a total fly by the seat of my pants experiment. Because we were flour pounding. That was loud. Personally, not a huge fan of loud noises. So now we're unwinding with paper dyeing because this is my jam. But the paper, like beets don't smell the greatest. So the beetroot powder is like, it's not like the coffee paper where I walk by or like new tires, you walk by and you're just like, feel like that new tire smell. I wouldn't do that with this paper. It's not as fun. Actually, let's go over here. Creative Gram. I do still have some blueberry paper in the bin. I've got some coffee. I think I have some coffee paper in there. I've also got some repurposed paper packs and some book pages if you're looking for some of that. I've added some stuff to the bin, including some stamps. So if you like stamps, check that out because I'll be adding more as time goes by. Let's add a little bit of water. A little bit of water. And if anybody wants to buy a repurposed notebook and you want me to dip it in, I would dip it in the blueberry only because I've done that before. But I will dip it for you and dry it completely before shipping. Okay, so let's see. But anyways, I guess I stopped talking about the creativity from the Witches of Whatnot train. I feel inspired. It's a really great group. I think it's a lot of fun so far. So when the train starts, I'm excited. I don't do like lots of pressure. I don't do lots of I like structure, but I like how relaxed it is. So at least it feels like it to me. So I'm excited. I'm going to be making my own Krampus stencil and using the beetroot paper. So inspiring. This looks like jam. Like it reminds me of strawberry jam, which I love. It's my favorite. And I have been known to like when there's like either homemade strawberry or raspberry jam, somebody makes it or even I make it. Yes, I will eat it with a spoon. I don't even care if people want to judge me. I'm not sorry. This is good stuff. Hey, Lily. So this paper, the little corners sometimes do tear, which usually comes back together when it dries. So these are two different ratios of water to beetroot powder. So we'll see if it even makes a difference. I don't know. Lily. I'm dyeing beetroot paper. There's not going to be any in the bin today if you love it, but there will be soon. I've got a tea dyeing show coming up, and using not black tea, but the Tazo Passion tea. That is what I'll be using to dye paper. And what it does is it's close to the blueberry paper, but maybe a little bit darker, perhaps a little bit on the indigo side. So I'm looking forward to this one. This one is in my upcoming shows. Please bookmark them. We'd love to have you come by, stop by, check it out, hang out for a little while. So we have 2 ready already. And I don't know if I'll remember the side. The side with the paper stuck to it is supposed to be the darker one. But we'll see if there's even a difference. Because right now, because they're wet, I can't really tell a difference. In fact, the other one looks darker. I know, I like it. It's a lot of fun. I like baking it now, of course, which is a new thing for me. I'm going to try not to forget it in here. But I do air dry for my packs because I like the different colors and textures. Hey, Bat Mom. Did some flour pounding. That's done. Went pretty well, I think. It was loud, so now we're chilling with some paper dyeing. Paper dyeing is my favorite. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more water, and this is going to be the last time that I do that. That's cool. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, that was a reflection. I'm like, is there something in there that I don't see? I guess the light reflection. How's everybody doing today? I hope your day is awesome on this Wednesday. I decided to just do a little last minute pop up. Good. Is it hot there? It's been cold here. In fact, we had a storm a couple days ago. We lost power. Which is not my favorite, but could have been worse. If I said it's almost Wednesday, then I'll probably need some more coffee because it is Wednesday. Does the water you have to be hot? For the dyeing, no. But when it comes to the beetroot powder, if I stir it in cold water, because I've tried to do like the smoothie without blending, so like stirring the beetroot powder with cold water hasn't really gone well, so I decided to try the hot water. That was the first time I tried that. So for beetroot powder, I recommend mixing it in hot and letting it cool. But for dyeing in general, I don't do hot water. In fact, I'll pull it out of the fridge if I save it from the previous day and just go to town. No problem. Do you like to dye paper? Or are you thinking of trying it for like the first times? Thinking of doing some? Yay! My personal favorites are coffee and blueberries. To dye with. Oh, and that tea I showed you. Not the brown tea, but that one. And I am going to, Feifei had a great idea to try parsley with a green paper because I want to make green paper. I want to make a whole pack of rainbow paper. Rainbow paper. This is just one of the steps because I've got brown. I'd add brown to a rainbow, especially when it's coffee paper. Blue for blueberry. A Taza one is a little closer to a super dark indigo or purple, but it's a lot of fun. I'd love to hear how you love it. If you feel like sharing with me or that comes to mind, I would love to know how it goes for you and how much you like it. So I will air dry it. It takes a lot of room on my kitchen table, even if I stack like all the baking racks I have. It takes up the whole kitchen table and even the counter. And so I started baking, but then when I bake it, I let the sheets cool, ideally. And then I put out layers on everything that just air dry because then the colors turn out different. And I like all of them to be just different because then the paper packs, like the blueberry papers you see pinned below, like each of them, I like them to look different. Oh, you're a full time artist? What do you love to create? Do you paint or draw? Do you do. Carlos is an artist too. Oh, spirulina powder? Oh, I wonder if we have some that's like hard and stuck together, but like, yeah. Painting home portraits on slate. Oh, that's super pretty. Do you do that here? I'm going to follow you either way. That's so cool. Oh, you're in Louisiana? Nice. Do you any of your work on Whatnot at all? I know not everybody does, so I'm just asking if you're curious about sharing. No Whatnot. I was actually because I've tried other selling platforms. I don't right now Whatnot, so Whatnot fairies don't come at me. But I was pleasantly surprised at how everybody is just so great. Oh, cool. Okay, where's my phone? No, I'm gonna write it down. Everybody has just been really like, for the most part, everybody has been super kind, supportive, and I don't know. I like it's a great vibe here in my experience. Yeah, I like it here. I'm so happy that Carlos got to join in here too. Carlos and I go way back, like what, 2 decades or a little bit more back. Carlos is an artist. He's a fantastic oil painter, acrylic painter. I don't mean to box you in by those titles, so correct me if I need to say it differently. But I love seeing when I see other people creating what they do, and it's so inspiring. Whether it's pictures or even talking about it, like I love it. I love it, love it. Can keep up with it. You're Taylor's age, I know, I know, because she was a baby. Hey, Crafty. I know my daughter was like a baby or a newborn when I met Carlos, and she's 21 now. She's 21 now, going to school. All right, so here we have. This is the darkest one. What? No way. Can't be that long ago. It was like yesterday, last month. This one, oh, the brown is showing more than on camera. This is the darkest one. I see the brown in the middle, which is cool. I'm totally fine with that. I mean, it is what it is, so I better be fine with it. Beetroot paper, you are not responsible for my expectations. The potter's life is here. This is with more and a little bit less. I don't see a lot of difference as far as adding the water, and I'm trying to get the angle where you guys can see how pinkish it is because it turned out like a dark pink. So I think what I would do, actually, let's try a little bit of this, shall we? Let's really, to get even a deeper red, let's spill it all over the counter for good luck. Just kidding. Whoops. Yes, like that. Did you guys see that? So there's more like super red in here, which I like. This is so cool. These ones haven't baked yet, so we're gonna stick these in the oven. And I think next time, well, flour pounding, we won't be doing that on the stove, but I didn't like that as much as the paper dyeing. I like to do that at the oven because then you guys can see more. Really good luck. I know. Just kind of dumped it in there. I know. Designer Duck Dog. Welcome. We've got some, let's see, what do we have here? Let's visit the bin. While we're waiting for that to bake, let's run a couple things, shall we? I do have 6 pieces of blueberry dyed papers. It's a combination of the plain, what was plain paper, and some repurposed, but we're gonna run this as an auction. I haven't done an auction in a little while. We're gonna keep me on my toes. We're gonna do 5-second sudden death. I'm actually gonna get some out and show you. I have it all organized. But if you see me run away and drop the papers, that means I gotta check the beat paper. So here we have some blueberry dyed paper. Can you see it? I like it when they all turn out different. You get little bubbles when the pan is hot when you bake it. This one maybe, no, I think this was baked on a baking rack. Just so different. And the splotchy ones like this, like I don't usually put these in the blueberry packs because I like it to be fully covered. Just so you guys know what you're getting. Every piece is so different. 5-second sudden death, snag yourself a pack of this. I love the blues on this. This is so much fun. And I love making this too. And don't forget, it's buyer's appreciation. So everybody that makes a purchase today, you get a little extra something. And I do have some coffee pages. Sometimes you'll see me going live and just dyeing coffee paper because it's fun. Or blueberry paper, because blueberry is really popular. And sometimes I gotta go live, or I decide to go live and bake blueberry papers because it's fun, and well, because it's fun to hang out. I know. That's so much fun. I'm gonna check the papers. Not quite. Ooh, but it's a little bit more red, maybe really dark pink, but we're just gonna keep playing with that. I like that. It's a lot of fun. All right, time to drink more water. And drink more coffee. I love coffee. Coffee is my favorite. Okay. Ta-da! Beet paper. Oddly, they do. I remember the first time I woke up and I'm like, oh my goodness, somebody bought the last ones. I did not expect that. Let's see. They really do. It's a lot of fun though. So I think I'm happy because I get to add these to my rainbow stack. And the pan wasn't hot for these, so I see that it can add little bubbles even if the pan itself is not hot, which I'm okay with. All right, I think this one, nope, not done yet. Because I remember now I poured extra on, so it's going to take a minute extra. I expected it to be a little darker, but again, that's my problem. I liked a little bit of brown there. What do you guys think? All right, let's prep another couple papers. Now that we've seen the red ones, or just the plain ones, let's get a different paper. Okay, let's do a ledger paper and a yellow paper and see what that looks like. And I might do the whole soaking and then dump a little bit extra thing. Dyeing paper's a little messy, but I think it's worth it. I like that. It's like I'm playing with really thin jam. I shall be here. Oh, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say this so you can probably hear me. I'm gonna actually air dry some of this and pour some extra on and see just how red we can get this. See just how red we can get this paper. Everything in this kitchen will be red. Oh my goodness. I didn't spill any. I mean, other than where I wanted to. That's a first. Congratulations on being able to witness that with me. I like that. I mean, I hope it stays kind of dark, but I'm just going to work with it. I think when I air dry, I'm going to air dry on the silicone mats because I feel like that maybe there's a sugariness of the beetroot powder. It's going to stick to the pan if I don't. Okay, well, these ones are done. Let's take a look. I'll be right back with the new papers. Oops. Oh, they went a little bit longer than what I thought. It's a little on the browner side. I sure don't mind that. Check it out. I do like this. I like this a lot, and we're gonna wait for, no, here's what we're gonna do first. Because while y'all are here, I'm gonna practice. Because I know I'm still fairly new here. I want to say I'm just a little bit over a month. To me, that feels new, but also feels like a long time. Because I've got to make a lot of friends, gotten to find some things that I happened to want to buy for my friends that were like things that I actually want and need. So I love here. However, I am also moving towards more of, handmade and things like that, less craft supplies. And so I am going to practice presenting the things that I make and running auctions. Welcome back. So I'm going to practice presenting the things that I make and running auctions because that's what I'm going more towards. Is more of the handmade, less supplies, and definitely working on my pricing. So I'm gonna get to practice that. Everybody who's hanging out, you're gonna get to see that. Thank you for your support. Feel free to cheer me on from where you sit. Send those great vibes. I mean, I guess I don't need to say that. People already do. This has been really good here. I like Whatnot. This is a lot of fun. Even more supportive and different than other apps I've gone live on too. Carlos knows the Clocky Clock app. I have friends that are still on there. Welcome, but I like doing this here with you all. So this one is going to be air dried. We're going to see how red we can get it to practice for the Witches of Whatnot. Christmas in July. We're doing spooky theme, like the spooky side of Nightmare Before Christmas, Krampus. I'm making my own paper stencils. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys. I've never done that before, and I love that. So I'm going to see, let's go ahead and see. Yay! Carlos is one of my favorite artists in the whole wide world. Like, he's up at the top. In fact, okay, because I'm finishing up with the paper dyed paper. I am going to practice sharing things that I've made and put together and running auctions. So, because I am fairly newer here, but I'm also working on my confidence because I know that everybody who creates here or sells, we all have something great to offer. So I'm working on my confidence. However, I'm going to really tap into that vibe because first I'm going to put the paper dyeing stuff away and I'm going to show you all the things that I have gotten from Carlos. I am super, super grateful that I was able to purchase some things from Carlos because I've been wanting to purchase things from him for a very long time. And when he was on Whatnot and finally selling his stuff and things were actually in a link where I could just click buy it, I did that. I did that and I have things. So I'm going to get to practice that with everybody who's here, just really presenting and speaking confidently. And I think that's going to really help because like, I don't know who else can relate, but sometimes when you first start presenting what you make, it can be easier to hype other people up and confidently share someone else's work while you'll need to share your own. So I'm going to do that. As long as Carlos don't mind. Do you mind? And everybody who gets to see it, I'm streaming on YouTube and Facebook. If you're joining us, thank you. Okay, good. I want your permission first. I didn't think anything was private, but I also wanted to ask. Definitely the stuff I bought, I knew that I could. But then like the other stuff that came with the stuff I bought, I wanted to show because I'm so happy and proud to own works of your art, some things that we painted together. I love your version of it. And the pictures, you took great pictures. Absolutely took great pictures. But it does not do it justice to actually holding it in your hands. So I'm going to move this. This is going to dry, but I'm going to keep it in the kitchen because I don't want to drop the paintings in it when I'm walking this way. But I'm gonna show your stuff first, Carlos, and then I'm gonna move into mine. Carlos is amazing. I'm gonna show you guys how this paper turned out first, because I think pouring the extra on is a great idea. Maybe we can talk. Carlos will be going live after this. So I'm gonna finish drying this, air drying. Hey, Bobby. This is cool. It's gonna finish drying. It's a little bit wet, but I like how this looks more red. So the pouring of it on is a good idea. We're gonna keep doing that. Okay, cool. Now let's clean this up. I don't want beet juice on my paintings. I actually don't think I have much that I have made. I'm just going to share what I have in my bin. I think that's great practice for me. Great practice. I'm about to show some things. I'm in my kitchen because we did some paper dyeing. See, we used some beetroot powder. We did some flour, like the flour hammering, only I used a socket handle. Is that what it's called? One of those things. But now we're transitioning into the show where I'm going to practice sharing. First of all, I'm going to share some things that I got from Carlos here, Art by Carlos. If you're not following him, I suggest that you do. He's a fantastic artist. He's like one of my favorite artists. He is phenomenal with oils, acrylics. Pretty much anything he creates is just inspiring, and he is a phenomenal person. I think that's really what kicks it up even further. So I'm going to show you some things I got from Carlos. First, I don't know that I have a favorite, but this is one of my favorites. This is the fairy. Isn't this beautiful? So Carlos painted this with, what was that? Was that all acrylic? Yeah, it was acrylic, right? And then you used your pen. Beautiful work. I saw pictures of it because we live in completely different states, not even close to each other. So I didn't see this in person until he sent it to me. And pictures just didn't do it justice. Acrylic and pen. This is beautiful. This is an original. This is mine. This is not for sale. I mean, you could offer me $1 million. That's a no. This is mine. I love this one. So the fairy's going to keep you company while I get the others. Carlos, I can't tell you for how long I would be talking to my phone going, could you just list this so I can buy it already? Something. Give me something. I don't care if it's a print. But these are all originals. And my husband, Lepak, is also a very big fan. No, but this was the first one. So this is by Art by Carlos. It's an original. It's mine. This is just a reminder to go check his shop. Oh, yay. Oh, you did? Oh, I can relate to the idea of, chickening out because, like, I don't know, sometimes maybe you're not feeling it, but other times maybe you feel like you want to pull out some more courage to actually do it. Maybe you're not ready or something. Like, I think that's great. If you think about it, so I'm going to try to secondhand glam. If you decide to, oh, I see a couple. See, oh, you got lots of vintage. Oh, hey, I like vintage. Secondhand glam. If you decide to do a painting live, I really hope that I see it, just because I just love that. And I know that it takes a lot to be able to do that. Carlos says, I'm not that brave yet. It takes a ton of energy to build myself up for a show. I've done so many sales and live unboxings, but I had a panic attack. Oh, I'm so sorry. I feel like if I'm creating here, I feel more at ease. If I do like selling stuff, I get really nervous because that's new to me. But yes, definitely tag us both. We would love to be there and cheer you on and be like, yes, that'd be so cool. I would love to see that for whenever you're ready. I'm not the kind of person who's going to pressure you to be like, just do it. You know when you're ready. This was just propping this up. He did not give me saran wrap. So this is another one. I adore this. In fact, well, of course, it's going to end up in a frame, but I would love for this to be like a notebook cover. Maybe we collab and this ends up being like a print on something for one of the Witches of Whatnot events. I'll talk to you because I don't care if you gave this to me and this is your original. It would be a collab. I want you to know where your work is. So if you're down for that, I think that'd be a lot of fun. Something very magical. And looking at this, I was just really blown away because like these branches over here, like, I mean, everything. It's just like, wow, the picture was great, but like this is amazing holding it in my hands. It's mine. Like I was nerding out and trying not to cry when I was opening the package because look. And this was the eclipse painting, right? Holy smokes. This one too. I don't usually do horizontal works, but we could collab on something horizontal, like a flip book, something. I just go to books because I love making notebooks, but I do actually want to think outside the box and create other things. But maybe if you'd be down for collabing, then this could play a part in that too. I think that would be fun. I'm putting these back because I don't want anything to get on them. These are priceless. I know. I'm imagining Carlos if he's like, somebody offered you $1 million for the fair, give it to him. I'll paint you another one. And then this one, I do love all things spooky. And so when he did his little mini, like, I know he's got some in his shop right now. Is that called shop? They come with a little easel in a little box. And I don't know. I really like it. I love the presentation. You guys, I cannot tell you how this is just, it blows me away to see this, like the red background, the trees in person. It's so different to hold this in your little hands, in my little grubby paws. And I love spooky stuff, so this is a great vibe. Like, I could totally have this with some lights around it when we do the Witches of Whatnot train. And then this little guy. Did you name this one? How sweet is that? Oh, I like him. I like him a lot, and he likes me. I can name him. I'm going to see what he wants to be named. He's so sweet. Look at those tiny little whiskers. It's very whimsical. I love it. And then this is the one that Lapaka got. He came in and he was like, which one should I get? And yeah, what is this? You said this is the levee at the Yazoo River. The trees, the little tiny branches on the trees just blew me away. Like these are just fantastic. So if you're not following Art by Carlos, I think that you should. Phenomenal artist, fantastic person. Heck, we've been friends for over 2 decades. I recommend you follow him. If he's going live, pop in, say hi, hang out. Super chill, great vibe. He's really inspiring. When we started painting together about a year ago, and really, truly inspired my creative journey and painting, drawing. I might not enjoy painting so much or drawing, but just the creative vibe in general, like that's one of the things that brought me here. So I thought that was really cool. I'm still working on a book to put all my sketches in. So I love these. I love having these in my home. Check out his shop. Yep, that is shop. He's got a night sky painting in there, Starry Night over the Rhone, Starry Night, painting of an old church, an old shack, and then he's got some other things in there too. Oh, he's got the Grim Reaper floating in a graveyard. Bat painting, the spooky owl. Go check it out. He's got a mystic raven. If you've seen my raven painting, we painted those together. He's even got Princess Jasmine and Aladdin, the Disney characters, on a mini, and they come with little easels. So go check out his shop, Art by Carlos. Just an amazing artist, amazing person. And I've got some works from him as well. So neener, neener. Neener, neener, you can't have these. I'm going to put these away. And then it's my moment to be brave. Share some of the things that I made and run some auctions and make the practice. Okay. I'm going to share a couple things of mine, and then I'm going to share something I got from Fei Fei. You got Raja sketched out and ready to paint. Yay! Oh, I'm so excited to see that one. I think Raja's actually my favorite. Okay, I'm going to share a little something that I made. It's not in my bin or anything just yet, but I am super happy with this, and I wanted to share it with you all, and this matches the vibe, so we're leaving that right there. This is a journal. I do love to make journals because I love paper. To say I'm obsessed with paper is an understatement, but I made this journal. This is a manila envelope covered in fabric, and it is bound. The inside signature, there's one signature. This is coffee paper, and the signature itself is bound with staples, and also I sewed it with some wax twine. Is that what that's called? Super simple. I love it. It is a work in progress. But one thing that is not is this affirmation tassel. You do affirmations. I know some people do spell work, some people pray. I love this because it's the moon. I love the moon. I created this with some scraps of coffee dye paper, some fabric scraps that look like rice checks to me. But I vintaged it up with a little bit of some of those distressing inks. And I took a little piece of a rose from a trim, a little moon that I cut out, and I made this tassel to hook on the side of this journal. This is a work in progress, and I am super proud of this one. I really like this one. All of the pages are hand-dyed coffee papers. It smells fantastic. When it's time to let this one go, it's going to be a little hard, so maybe I'll take my time with it. But I love getting papers from the thrift stores and just getting like ledger paper or grid paper or bullet journal paper, plain paper, notebook paper, and dyeing it or just adding it to notebooks for signatures. So this is a journal that I'm working on, work in progress. This is something that I made very recently, a super simple journal. I'm coming to actually show you because I've made several. This is a super simple journal I made. This one's mine. I just used the steamed pork and ginger soup dumplings. Who knew that I would like soup dumplings? I just never been a dumpling person, but they're really good. There's actually a little bit of soup in them. Anyways, if you try those. I had this box and I wanted to use it because I like purple and I don't like wasting cardboard. So I thought, well, I need a little notebook for some upcoming trains. Please go bookmark my shows. It would mean a lot to me if you could do that. But then I made just a notebook for me. I just grabbed some papers, made a notebook, and this is what you have. It's got a little tab. I did use stick glue because it's my favorite, and it's a little sticky even though I let it dry. So I might just slap another little piece of paper on the back of that so it's not too sticky, but that's what we have for that. And I added an eyelet and a charm, which is what I let people do when I have some of my, just the things that I sell. You can add an eyelet and a charm, kind of like that. Just gives a little bit of a noise when I use it. But I've been using this one every day and writing in it since, well, it's been 3 days. But I've been doing that, and I'm going to go ahead and pin it because I have some other notebooks that I made that I'm about ready to show you. Ta-da! I'm moving more to the handmade side instead of more like craft supplies, the inexpensive things. Like these are the handmade, one of a kind things that I'm really enjoying making. Yay! So glad you got to hang out. I'll be looking for your future live show when you're ready. That's cool. I like meeting new people, making new friends. I made this one too. As you can see, this was out of a Triscuit box. This is something that I also have. This is an extra, but I made this out of a Triscuit box. Always clean and reusable, no food residue. But I grabbed some papers, stapled in a quick signature. It's a wee bit sticky on the back, but you can just stick a piece of paper, or I could for you. But I made a little tab, and this was bendy, so I made it firm. But this is great. I love this. So I'm actually going to run this because I love having the practice. This is handmade. This is one of a kind. There will never be any just like it. It is going to be 5 seconds, sudden death. It is a single signature, great for a scrap notebook. And I've got 3 different ones. These are 3 different sizes. I'm going to show you the second one now. And I'm putting a little paper clip here to help just keep it shut. And any of these, you can add an eyelet or a charm. This is the next one. I used a box that was, it's a Dermalogica box from my daughter's skincare. She's studying to be an esthetician. So I decided, well, why not? It's a nice sturdy box. One moment. This one's a little bit smaller. And there's only one of these. So you'll definitely want to grab it if it catches your eye. I do like the long Traveler's Journal style notebooks made with all reusable, repurposed paper, bound with a staple, and it's got 2 little tabs. I'm including a little clasp here for this one because it likes to pop open. But I really like this one. This thank you for looking at her. This one I like as well. Oh goodness. I have to go through the list and look every time. Just because of the way I had this set up. This is another one of a kind. There will never be any like it. And I'm using a little paper clip to hold it shut because it doesn't like to pop open. But anyways, sometimes there's just a cover that I don't want to be wasted. So single signature bound with a staple. This will make a great notebook for somebody who likes notebooks and who likes to use repurposed paper. So thank you for looking at him. He's not quite done yet. And you can always add an eyelet and a charm to dress them up a little bit. Or even not dress them up a little bit, but if you like a little dangle or a little bit of noise, I think it's perfect for that. Thank you for checking him out. I'm going to show you a little something that I got from Feifei. If you're not following Feifei one, she's hilarious, but she's real. I like her a lot. And I decided to get this from her. She made this herself. It's a little leather journal with real leather and embossed with skulls. I love this journal so much. This is with her coffee dyed papers also. And I just had to have this because I've been watching her shows since I came to Whatnot, but isn't that neat? And I had to have it because it won't be for the Black Rose journal that I showed you, but I'm working on another one, like a little spell book. And that book is going to need a book. So I had to have this one. And she gave a little preview one night on one of her shows. And I was like, okay, well, I have to get this one. And then when she went live, I actually didn't have signal. So I had to message her and say, do you still have one? So I like this one a lot. Sometimes it's hard for me to like the equivalent of walking and chewing gum, so I'm trying to put this back. But it's got three charms. It's got the key charm, the antlers, and the bone. I love this. So my spell book is going to have a spell book. And I like the skulls. It's like they're smiling at me. Isn't that cool? And she made this herself. I also got some tabs from her, but I think I stuck them somewhere where I don't quite remember where, because those are going in the spell book too. But I'm so happy that I was able to message her, because I was super pouty when I didn't have any signal and I wasn't able to actually buy it right then and there, or even ask like, hey, do you still have it? So I had to message her after and say, do you happen to have any books available? I mean, kind of bummer that she did, but not, because I'm happy. I would have been a little sad if I didn't get these. The USPS took their time with this one. I usually get at least one package a week from Feifei. So Feifei 1, if you're not following Feifei, I recommend doing that. One of a Kind creator, and one of the Witches of Whatnot. Witches of Whatnot. We've got that coming up too. So make sure you bookmark our upcoming shows. And don't forget, these notebooks are in the bin. Now we're going to talk about, hey, Scudder. All right. Now these, at the time when I put these out there last Friday, I wasn't sure what these were called. Are they clusters? Are they tags? Are they dangles? So I just ended up, thanks to Hazy telling me, like, hang tags is also a thing too, because sometimes they'll be a little bit hanging where you can hang them off like a journal or a notebook or anything that you want. So I just started calling them dangle cluster hang tags. So these dangle cluster hang tags are handmade. I absolutely love these. They're amazing. I do have these in the bin. They're actually pinned to the bottom, and you can get 2 of them for $3 right now. That is the introductory price, because I'm still here on Whatnot and trying to figure out how to price things. So you might want to get as much as you can before I figure it out. These are really cool. You can add an eyelet, which this one doesn't have, or you can add a charm. Hey, Aloha. And in my bin, you can see some of the pictures of the charms that are available. I like to try to take a picture of just recent charms, because I think it helps us to see just an example. And it's hard for me to just say, hey, just let me know what you like, because I just never know. So I think it makes it easier if you take a look at the charms and you want to add an eyelet and a charm. I can add an eyelet and a little charm to your dangle cluster hang tags. This is blueberry dyed paper, coffee dyed paper. This is a great way to use your scraps, guys. And remember, every day is Buyer Appreciation Day. If you buy something or anything, you get a little something from me as a present, because I want to show that appreciation. It's just something I like to do. And I actually like that guitar charm. I'm going to try not to put all the charms on my own personal things, because then I get really attached. I'm going to practice. I'm going to run a couple auctions, because I do have more. I can take you to my office and you can actually check and see which one you want to adopt. One moment. Okay. And you'll want to snatch everything up as much as you can, because the more confidence I get, the more I price things fairly. But I'm liking to thank you for being here and hanging out for this practice, because I feel like I'm still learning. Yeah, I'm still learning. We're going to do 5-second sudden death on these tags. And don't forget, you can purchase an upgrade for eyelets and tags for each one. The upgrades buy you an upgrade on 1 each. So definitely be mindful of that. Perfect. Thank you so much, everybody, for taking a look at them. I love these. I've been putting them on some of my own books, because I have multiple journals that I use, including my bullet journal, which I love. I pre-measured out some scoops. Everybody who purchases is going to either get a scoop, or here, I'll show you some of my customer appreciation treasures. I have some, now these are extras for customers that make a purchase. I've got some vintage cookbook pages. I tore a cookbook apart to make for my project. I'm showing some extra things there. Oh, here are these pictures that I was going to share earlier that I couldn't find. I also have one of I actually have 6 of these. These are going to be great for people's summer raid trains and things like that, little props. These are absolutely wonderful. So this is going to be a buyer's appreciation gift for one person today. And these are some book pages. I'll put that in somebody's order. And there's also there's a couple of little pieces of the blueberry and coffee dyed paper just to kind of give you a little peek. And those are some buyer appreciation packages for you now. Now, you don't have to buy during the live show to get a customer appreciation present. You can just buy, and I'm going to put a little something in there anyways. And I know that there is usually the way I package things, there's a little bit of room anyway. So there's room in there for your shipping for me to add that. And this is the little scoop, or an example of a little scoop that comes with the buyer's appreciation little presents that I'm giving. And I have a lot of this, I forget what it's called, deco mesh, which is great for crafting. So I've been putting a piece of that with all of my little present scoops as well. And the feedback on that's really great too. I actually have a couple whole rolls that I might look at auctioning. Let's see, what do we have next? I'm going to pin these to the bottom there. These are in the bin. This is a pre-packaged small scoop. It is bigger than the present scoop. And I'll give you a little peek at what's in these ones. There's a couple peaches. I wish I could give you peaches. I haven't had a good ripe peach in a long time. I wish I lived closer to Carlos because I bet there's good peaches there. Down south. Here in Washington, let me tell you, they're not that great. But you got a couple little pieces of fabric here. And let's see what we have in this one. Here we have a little moon art print. We've got some papers, some little coffee dyed papers. We have a little thank you. It's like a wax seal sticker. And we have some little moon cutouts, little doilies, and we've got some embroidery thread. I've got a lot of that too. So this is one example of one of the pre-packaged small scoops that you can get that's in the bin. We also have one that has different colors. I did scoop it, but then I kind of also maybe just adjusted a few things that look like that might fit somebody who would like something like that. So you can let me know if you don't buy it during the live, you can let me know which one you like and we can see if that's available. But I do want to keep it short and sweet so that I can get your stuff to you as quickly as possible. I like these. These are fun to make. This is a little bit of furry fabric and not exactly the same fabric. I've got a faux fur fabric that I'm going to be making a Yeti journal out of for the PNW raid train that's coming up. I'm excited about that one too. Thank you so much for taking a look at this. And I'm gonna show you the paper. I'm gonna move all this out of the way. And then I'm gonna show you the paper before we sign off for the day. The one that I just pulled out of the oven. Oh, sweet. It stuck a little bit, but it came off. We're okay. Now, does that look red or pink to you? I feel like the edges are definitely red. But the middle part, to me, it looks red. Like I would be happy to, awesome. I love that feedback. Thank you. And not just because that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to make red paper. But when I do put the stencils on here, I will be spooning a little bit of, oh, you know what? Before we sign off, let me move all of this out of the way. I'm going to put a stencil down on one of these pages, not both, just one. And then I can see how that turns out. So let me see here. I'm grabbing a stencil. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm going to do, oh crap. So I can do a stencil, but it's going to kind of fold. Let me get a smaller stencil, shouldn't I? A smaller one. I don't have a smaller skull, but let's just do this. I have bricks. How cliche. Bricks, and I've got some blueberry dye on it. So let's just see what happens. I'm quoting Carlos. Should we do the rough brick or the precise brick? Maybe the rough one. I'm thinking the rough one. The rough one would be cool, right? Cool. Well, it sounds like we're unanimous. Let's do the rough one. Yeah, I like the texture. So let's do this. We'll put this one here, maybe a little off to the side. Try to do everything perfect. Perfect. There's no such thing. Did I use all? Yeah, I did. Oh, let's see. So I can't really spoon anymore, but let's do this. And I'm going to air dry this and we're going to see how red it is because that might be just how that works. What do you think? I think it's going to be cool. So we'll let that air dry. And then tomorrow, if we do a hangout, we'll do a hangout and I will update everybody on what that looks like. I know, I can't wait to see it either. Isn't that cool? This was fun. I mean, I did like the flour pounding part, but I like this one better. And did you guys see the flour pounding, or do you want me to show you that part again? Because it was all right, but it was loud. Of course it's loud because there's a hammer involved. Okay, cool. I will, I'll be keeping those and probably doing something with them in the future. They did a great job. I think Kelly was onto something with just using the petals because I think this one was my favorite. Hopefully I don't drop it in the red. It will be a new creation. So that's what that one looked like. That was a lot of fun. Paper dyeing is my favorite though. That's what I like the most. But that was a great experiment. Big shout out to Lena for suggesting that because I do like trying new things. That's one of the things I like to do. So we tried a few new things. We did some flour pounding and we did some dyeing with some beetroot powder. That was super, super fun. So I just want to thank you all for hanging out today. This was a lot of fun. I love adventuring with you guys, just chilling and relaxing and doing fun stuff like this. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.